I'm the optometrist and the new owner of Griswold Eye Care, formerly the office of Dr. Joel Zuckerbrand. I would like to welcome you and your family to make an appointment today for an eye exam. Even though the name has changed, we are still providing the same family-friendly eye care as Dr. Z. We are located at 8 North Main Street in Jewett City. You can also find Griswold Eye Care on Facebook and send us a message. Don't forget that eye exams correlate to your whole body health too. It's not just new glasses and contacts. So come see me, Dr. Katina Simmons, at the all-new Griswold Eye Care, formerly Dr. Zuckerbrand. Hope to see you soon.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Your community radio.
We love the 80s. Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning. And 80s all day and night. SNSN. Your community radio.
Live from Main Street. Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night. SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
When they are stupid, it's funny. I don't know. I don't try to be funny. I don't try to be anything. You do. You haven't. You didn't tell me dad jokes Monday.
Oh, I have. I know. I forgot.
How could you forget?
Well, it was our first day back. So, I mean, I could give you another one.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's get it.
Okay.
A Paul Lash dad joke.
Okay. What kind of a bird makes the most important rules?
I don't know, Paul. What kind of bird makes the most important rules?
Cardinals.
Oh, forget.
That was kind of dumb.
I don't even understand it. Cardinals. All
right. What's a snake's strongest subject in school?
I don't know, Paul. What is the snake's strongest subject in school?
History.
Oh, my God. God. Well, that's the end of the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. Have a great day. Paul, you just killed everybody off just like that.
History.
Boom. God. Oh, God. My wife told me that her birthday was March 1st. So I walked around the room for a while. So how's your week going, Mr. Lash?
That's hump day. Well, I shouldn't say hump day anymore.
Why is that like part of cancel culture? We can't say hump day.
I don't know. Nobody uses hump day anymore.
You say we can't say anything anymore. Why do we even talk?
I know. That's true. Can't say a word. Can't say anything because it offends somebody somewhere.
Don't care.
Yeah, I know.
I think some people just got to get over it.
Well, hopefully someday, somebody will get over it.
So let me ask you this. Do you think, in your opinion, and that young adults, let's say we'll go 17 to 24, do you think that they're entitled? Or they feel entitled?
Well, do I think they're entitled? No. Mm-hmm. Do they feel like they're entitled? Yes.
Okay.
And I think everybody, we did that.
Okay. How did we do that?
Because as parents of through the generations, as one gives, as one parent gets going back to the older generations,
okay,
they didn't have anything, so they gave it to the next kid. And then when those kids grew up, they gave it to the next one and next one and next one. So finally, we're at a point now where these kids today get about anything they want, including brand new cars, for Christ's sakes. You don't even work for it.
But I guess what I mean by, are they entitled is like if they don't get what they want, do they have attitudes or do they have problems with it in the case that they don't get what they want?
What do you think? I think they do.
Okay.
They're,
Do you think
it was obvious? It was obvious over the last few years with the some of the things that went on with all the protests and everything else that went on.
Mm.
It was the younger people that were doing all this stuff. Hate this, hate that, hate this, hate that.
Here's a dad joke for you.
Huh?
Two peanuts walk into a bar. One was assaulted.
Oh boy.
What is that? What is that noise? That hissing noise? You hear that?
That's the snake.
That's the snake. It's my laptop. I don't know why. It's like
Studying history.
making a lot of noise. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, David. What's shaking? All right, so you say that young adults are entitled.
They think they're entitled.
Okay.
I don't think. I mean,
I don't
think they are entitled?
Okay, all right. Do you feel, or have you come up against situations where that age group is, along with that, unappreciative?
Not all kids are unappreciative, but there are a lot that are.
Okay.
They don't realize what they have.
Okay.
Prime example, and I don't like to bring this
No, go ahead.
crap up. Look what happened. Let's go back to the Griner situation. Hated this country. That was the big thing.
Now we're talking about Brittany Griner, who is being held in Russia right now.
Correct.
Okay, after they found marijuana or something in her bag.
Correct. One of the things that they did as a result of what happened in Minnesota was hate the flags, kneel for the flag, hate the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's coming back to burn her in the ass.
Well, see, now you see a lot of that because you go to a lot of Connecticut Sun games.
Correct. So now it's coming back to burn her ass. Do I think she should come out? Yes, but a lot of people have a hate for her because at one time, even during the Olympics, a lot of them didn't want to stand for the flag, but they did because they were told to. But I think that key issue right there is why a lot of people right now are against her, because they're saying she should stay in Russia and salute the Russian flag,
Okay.
because of that issue, not because of the others, but that's the reason. So there you go. So
I was in a diner and just sitting there, and the subject came up with a couple other people. I was just sitting there listening.
Yeah.
And one guy just said, "She can stay."
Yeah.
She wants us to rescue them. And this is this guy.
Yeah.
She wants us to rescue her. I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Yeah.
But she didn't care about us when she should have shown it.
That is correct.
So
that's the issue with the Russian thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of what, I mean, if that hadn't occurred, there'd be 100% of the people, or 95% of the people would be on her side. Get her out of there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of veterans took that, they took they don't like it. I mean, a lot of veterans died because of serving that flag. And there you go.
All right. So Richard says, I think for the most part, yes, they do feel entitled. On the other hand, I know a 22-year-old that busted her butt, paid for her own education, is now an engineer. Gee, I wonder if that's your daughter, Richard.
Well,
so there are exceptions.
There are exceptions. Not all kids.
I'm assuming you're talking about a young lady that her first name starts with an M.
Yeah. Not all kids are that way.
No. Not all kids.
Not all kids are that way.
That is correct.
Yeah. But it scares you. It scares you on the ones that are not, because if we ever need to go to war in this country, who the hell's going to fight?
Brittany Griner.
She's going to be in prison. I think she's going to get out.
Well, I'm sure she will get out at some point, but I don't think she's going to. I think she's going to be there for a bit. I think the United States wants to teach her a lesson a little bit.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. The legislatures, they're folding because you know why they're folding? I mean, they know what they did. They're supposed to be patriots. They're supposed to respect the country. I think they're just going for the political aspect of it.
Okay.
If they look good, they're protected, or they're doing this for as a politician. Yeah, they're looking good, and that's what they want.
David says, my father was a Marine and a Vietnam vet. He would always say he fought for our rights, and one of those rights is peaceful protest. So if my dad had no problem with it, I don't get that upset about it. I may not agree with it, but I can accept it.
Yeah.
Peaceful protest? Is that a peaceful protest, though?
Well, it ticked off.
That's
a
a
lot of
movement.
people. That's a yeah. It all started with the football player kneeling for the flag. He's the one that started it.
Yeah.
Which he'll never play in the NFL.
Well, okay, so let's say this is a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
That Brittany Griner, took part in.
Yeah.
That's up to her.
Yeah.
But now, it's like there are consequences to everybody's actions, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if you don't pay your bills, what happens? Well, your credit score is going to go down, and you're probably going to have your phone ringing all the time going, hey, where's my money?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now when you don't stand for the flag or you walk off the court because you're peacefully protesting, and then you turn around, you want those same people to go ahead and say, please save me.
That's the point.
That's the point.
That's
exactly.
the point. Yeah. On one hand, you're hypocritical because on one hand you're saying I don't like this country,
right?
But on this hand over here, on this hand, you're saying, hey, save me, get me out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other people that are over there that like to get out.
Sure.
But unfortunately, the way it goes. That's why that's the biggest. Like I said, if she wouldn't have been protesting against the flag, I think a lot of people would be right on her side.
David goes on to say yesterday, a school teacher from the U.S. who got arrested bringing medical marijuana into Russia just got sentenced to 10 years in prison. So it's not looking good for her.
Maybe. Because there's no political pressure for that teacher. There's political pressure for Reiner because you got the entire sports world, which is the WNBA and the NBA, saying, get her out of there.
Do you really?
I mean, why do we have to listen to these sports guys? They never did crap for this country.
I'm surprised that the organization, the WNBA, is even saying anything. I'm surprised that they want to get into something political.
They're talking big time.
Why is Brittany Griner one of their meal tickets?
She's a player.
Yeah, well,
they're all saying they get her out of there, even though she may, she was wrong.
She's not getting out of there. Not for a while.
Why is it? What's the difference between her and the school teacher?
Here's the thing: they broke the law of a different country.
I don't disagree, but this pressure, the politicians are going to bend over because, let's face it, there's a lot of votes.
Laura just said it. She's using her status as a well-known athlete to get out of trouble.
Yeah. These are supposed to be role models. What kind of a role model is that presented to young kids growing up, or young women, young girls that want to play in the WNBA, saying, oh, hey, she can do wrong and she got out of there. I could do the same thing. What kind of a role model is that? But yet
it's not. I
agree. But the politicians, this is a big thing for the politicians. You watch. They'll get her out of there before November.
Okay.
You watch. And all the politicians are going to take credit for it. You watch. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, that poor school teacher, who's just as important as Brittany Griner, is going to spend 10 years in prison. Maybe that school teacher forgot to realize they packed it. Same excuse she did. Or maybe they were on maybe it was a medical reason. Same thing she uses it.
And let me ask you this. Do you think the court system in Russia right now is being extra harsh because of the war in Ukraine? 5 years ago, would this be an issue?
Well, they're
No.
claiming. Well, that's what they're claiming it would be, but who knows? You're right. I think they probably would have worked something out.
5 years ago,
Yeah.
totally different thing.
Totally different thing.
Right now, you have both sides, I think, trying to leverage their own politics. You said the WNBA, right? Because she's a player. Let's get her out of there.
Mhm.
Russia's saying, no.
Yeah,
You know what? But is it because of, say, maybe the United States participation along with
Of
Ukraine?
course. What do you think?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, and today, apparently, she's supposed to be testifying on her own behalf. So,
Polino says 5 years ago, she would have been home already.
probably.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Sean says Russia offered to trade her for a Russian we have locked up.
Yeah, but remember the relationship.
Did you hear anything about that or a trade?
Yeah, they wanted to trade for a big arms dealer.
Okay.
Yeah, but they can't do it because the thing isn't settled yet.
What, the court case?
Court case isn't settled. But I guess I don't know. Plus the relationship we had with Russia 5 years ago was a hell of a lot better than it is right now.
Of course.
I mean, so
It is.
it was a lot better. I mean, not necessarily Trump, but even with Obama, I think the relationship was still okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate that it happened, but again, karma gets you.
Yeah. Joanne says she thinks she's entitled to disobey the rules of the country and pay the price.
Yeah. My guess is she'll be out. She'll be out before November.
You think before the election, huh?
Before the election.
All right.
Yep. It's another ploy for the legislature to find something they said they did so they could be elected. I mean, look at the crap that's going now with local elections and even some of the federal stuff that's going on for November. What are they talking about?
All I know is that if you want to bring somebody home, bring that school teacher home.
Why not? That's just as important. They're teaching kids.
Yeah, exactly. Bring the school teacher home.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner is playing basketball for money.
Yeah.
Now, okay, that's fine. That's her career. Okay. But this teacher is molding kids for years and years and years.
She makes like a couple $100,000 for what, 12 weeks?
Yeah.
I wish I could make $250,000 for 12 weeks, a couple months. But that's just what I can tell you.
If I go into another country and I do something stupid and I break their rule and whatever, and I think we have to know that different countries have different rules. They have different laws. They're not the same as here. And they may be more harsh. They may be less harsh. We don't know.
Yeah. And they go.
You don't want to test that, do you?
And they all go overseas to all different countries, all because they don't make the money of the NBA. Because the NBA pretty much foots the bill for the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what it is. Why don't those guys? I mean, you got LeBron saying all this crap. Well, he makes $40 million a year. Well, walk over a couple $1 million for some of these players, so they don't have to go overseas. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, but it's part of their economy too. It's part of the Russian economy. It's part of the Italian economy, Greece, Spain. These are all countries that have, like men's, men's basketball.
They also have women's,
right? But what I'm just saying is that it's part of their economy. It's part of their sports system.
A lot of these women go overseas to Israel and Turkey and all these different countries to play.
I had a friend who was part of a Final Eight team for UConn, and he didn't get drafted by the NBA, but he did get offers from Italy.
Yeah,
I mean,
they can make pretty good money over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, "Why didn't you go?" He goes, "I didn't want to leave here, man."
Well, yeah, because let's face it, they know how this country is compared to going somewhere else. You're not gonna get the same kind of bennies.
Yeah. Plus, my boy Eric was real chill. He didn't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
He wanted to sit around and play. He wanted to play NBA
well,
baseball. on Xbox, man.
Well, that was his choice. But it's going to be interesting to see
Easy
how this thing turns out.
Huh?
It's going to be interesting to see how this. My guess is November.
Before November, right before. Okay.
I told you that gas prices are going to start coming down before November. I told you that.
Yes, that's another joke. All right, so gas gets up. We talked about this a little bit outside before we turned the microphones on.
Yeah.
But I'm watching my phone.
Yeah.
Just because I got to pay attention to things this morning. What the hell was I saying?
Gas.
Oh, okay. So, gas goes way up, and now it drops a buck to 407, 409, right around there.
Yep.
Maybe, in Willimantic, it's a little bit less I've seen.
Yeah.
Why Willimantic is less, I don't know, but it is. And now all of a sudden it's like we're being sold off like this is a great deal. We have brought the gas price down. No. A year and a half ago, gas was $2.05. Some places $1.95.
Yeah.
So it's still twice as much. This is not a great deal.
Yeah. But they're making you think you're getting a great deal.
And part of it, and David, I'm glad you brought this up too. Part of it is there's no gas tax right now.
That is true. No gas tax, both federal and.
That's like what, 25 cents a gallon about?
Yeah, I think the federal won't. The federal take it off too. Maybe not.
I don't think so. No,
No.
it's just the Connecticut.
Yeah.
So, where's the deal? There's no deal.
If they were able to bring gas down close to $1, why didn't they do it 3 or 4 months ago? Why did you do it 3 or 4 months ago? They waited and waited and waited while people were suffering, paying all this money for gas, and all of a sudden now it keeps dropping. Well, why did they do this months ago? What's the big deal?
Well, I think you probably can answer that yourself,
Elections. All the politicians today, what are they using? You got Roe versus Wade. They're all on that bandwagon. We're never going to protect women's rights. They're so full of crap. Then you got the economy. Nobody's talking about the economy.
Man.
It's like, give me a break. Politicians are being politicians. Oh, gun control. That's the other thing they're talking about. All the politicians are using that as another mechanism to get people to convince them that.
Well, it's midterm elections,
I mean, I honestly think that eventually women are going to have to do what they want. They're going to have the freedom they need. I don't think it's, I don't think anybody's going to take it away from them. Maybe not in this state anyway.
Richard says they're conditioning us to accept $4 is okay, which is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And gas, Sean says gas may be down 20 or 30 cents recently, but it's up $2 from January, which we also talked about.
Yeah. Yep.
So looks like we're all on the same page, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. $4 is not a good deal for gas.
Yeah.
$5 is not a good deal for heating oil, even though that's what they're trying to sell us off right now.
Yeah.
And
nobody's really using heating oil right now, so they're not really selling it. So,
I mean, I know we have to buy oil.
Yeah. Well,
we're low.
Only because of the fact that you heat your water with that,
right.
hot water with it.
But still, we're low.
Yeah, no, yeah. Absolutely.
So I got to get some, and it's like,
oh yeah, I know.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
At some point, you got to bite the bullet. At some point, I have got to bite the bullet and say, all right.
Yeah.
But when's the right time to pull that trigger?
Yep.
It's like playing the freaking stock market.
Yep. Did you talking about saving fuel? Did you hear about the big bus fire in Hartford? Battery operated electric bus, right?
Yeah.
Battery operated, caught on fire, burned the whole freaking bus down.
Yeah. What about the train? What about the electric trains? What do you think is going to happen?
Electric trains have been around for a while.
I'm not talking about Lionel.
No,
trains.
they've been
talking about.
No, electric trains have been around for a while. Electric trains are nothing new.
David says politicians are all corrupt. They may not be when they first run for office, but once those lobbyists start paying them off, then they all turn into crooks. How the hell do politicians become millionaires while in office? Which is interesting because, like, I know and you know, just state politicians here in Connecticut, state reps, it's considered a part-time job, and it's $28,000, and I believe state senators are the same thing as far as what their compensation is.
Yep.
David said the fire was in Hamden, by the way, not.
Yeah, it was Hamden. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yep. But I guess my point is that's.
So if you're making $28,000 a year, how are you becoming millionaires? You bought Dogecoin at the right time?
I don't think so. I think when people run for office, they are actually legislatures.
Okay.
That's what their intention is. Unfortunately, when they get in there, they get involved with all the bad apples in the bucket, and then they become politicians.
Yep.
And once you turn to be a politician, you're not a people person. You're for yourself. Look at Pelosi's husband buying all that freaking stock. What the hell's going on there? You don't think
inside trade much?
You don't think there's some inside crap going on there?
Of course it is.
Because they're not going to tell you that, but he's buying all kinds of stock.
So that gets back to the whole entitlement thing.
Yeah, it's all.
Maybe it's not the kids. Maybe it's just a certain section of people.
Yeah. But you know, I also had heard that what they want to do is they want to have time limits on the justices. Once they reach a certain age, they want them out. Why are we doing the same thing for politicians?
Mm-hmm.
We should do the same thing. They want them out, I think, when they're, 65 or something.
Why do they not? Look at
That's
Schumer.
They're pushing because they're ticked.
Schumer's been in there, 30 years?
He should have been off. He should have been long gone. That's the problem. Old schools try to stay up with what's going on. They think they're entitled. Yeah, well, look at this. Well, we can argue about this crap all day long.
I remember when Schumer was a young man, and I can remember listening to all of his ads back when I listened to a lot of sports radio, like in the mornings when Imus quack quack was on in the morning.
Yeah.
Remember Imus in the morning?
Yeah.
So I would listen to Imus Lux. I thought he was just obnoxiously funny. Him and Chuck McCord and whatever. But Chuck Schumer, when he first ran, would run ads all over that station. And he sounded like the greatest guy ever. And he got in, and his first couple of terms, he was the greatest guy ever.
He's a legislator.
Now he's not the greatest guy.
Now he's a politician. Exactly. Yeah, that's what happens.
And he's been in a good 30 years.
Oh yeah.
Now you're gonna make me look it up.
He's been in too long.
Huh?
Yeah, it's the same way with Biden. Look how long Biden's been in there, for Christ's sake. 40 years. They're all the same. Yeah.
We have to take a look. I've got to look this up now.
Yeah. Well, I think. Go ahead.
Oh no! Hold on. No, I'm wrong. He got in it in 1999, so 23 years.
Oh.
He's in 23 years.
Too long.
Graduated from Harvard Law School.
Yeah. They all think because you go to Harvard or Yale, you're entitled.
Or smart.
Or smart. Half of them, they may be book smart, but got no common sense.
So, what do you think is more important, book smarts or street smarts?
They're both important.
What do you think? If you had to pick one?
Well, unfortunately, books, if you got to pick one, I got to go with book smart, but you still need to have street smart along with that. You got to have a combination of both.
Yeah, but I said you got to pick one.
I know. Then you're never going to get anywhere without being book smart because they won't even think of you taking you. Because
I don't agree.
That's what they look at.
I don't agree. I think
they're not going to look at you.
They did. I never had any problem.
No. Try it now.
I haven't, but see, I guess it all depends on what industry you're looking to get in.
Yeah.
So with mine, I never had any problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
how far'd you get?
Here I
am. Yeah, bro. You're the CEO.
Not too far.
You're the CEO of a big radio corporation.
Oh, goodness. Any politician, Dave says, should have to live in the highest crime rate area of the people they represent. You will either see them not run anymore, or clean up the neighborhood.
Exactly. Because what do you think a lot of them have all bodyguards, for Christ's sake? All of these politicians have got bodyguards. They don't fly commercial. They fly a private jet, so they don't deal with people day to day. Come on. The privilege of being a politician.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Because, like I said, this is the midterms. So in Connecticut, there's state stuff going on, not a lot of local stuff.
State stuff. Yeah. There's governor, treasurer,
lieutenant governor.
Yeah, well, that's part of the governor. A lot of the positions inside the governor's office are up for bidding. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's senators, state reps.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, there's a lot of stuff coming out between Lamont and
Stefanowski.
Yeah. He's accusing him of all this stuff, and then the dirty politics is going on.
Well, they fought 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They went back and
Came
forth.
Close, but not close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'll be honest with you. Whether I like Lamont or not is irrelevant, but I don't think he's going to lose.
All depends how if you look at it from how our election ran here, where the big red machine went through, if the big red machine happens statewide,
it's not going to.
You don't know.
No, because you still have the big four. The big four. Hartford, New Haven, Bridgeport, and Danbury. You got the big four, which are blue as blue can get.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at Hartford, for example, or East Hartford.
Yeah.
Lamont had like 82% of the vote
because they give everything to those towns,
and so did Biden. When you started looking at those towns.
Yeah. I mean, Lamont bailed out Hartford because his buddy is a mayor of Hartford.
Mm-hmm. But you see what I mean? I mean, you look on the eastern part of Connecticut.
Yeah.
Everything was Republican 4 years ago.
Yeah. But what does Lamont?
Stefanowski won everything. But because there's nothing over here, this is why you don't see, like Biden come up this way.
Of course not.
Or nothing like that. Because there's not enough votes for him to care.
His wife was in Waterbury.
Yeah, she got booed right out of the building.
Well, the reason why she went to Waterbury, because the superintendent, one of the superintendents in the Waterbury school system, is now the education director, or whatever you want to call him, in Washington. So
well, he was in Hartford.
Well, yeah, but I thought he was out of Waterbury.
Oh, I don't know where he's from.
I thought he was from Waterbury.
I thought you're talking about the education secretary.
Yeah, I thought he came out of Waterbury. That's why she goes there. But yeah, she got booed big time. Yeah, and that's Waterbury. So, yeah, so it's going to be, like I said, they're all running on Roe versus Wade, gun control. Those are the two primary ones running. Even Blumenthal is using that as an excuse.
Court says, did you hear that some members of Congress want to pursue term limits for Supreme Court justices, which is what you just said.
Yep.
Let's apply that to Congress and the Senate first. By the way, don't forget to pay your property taxes this week.
Yeah, it's up.
And he says, welcome back, guys. Thanks, Court.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they want to do. It'll be interesting to see if that flies.
What's that? The term limits?
Yeah. They wanted to add some more justices, too. they wanted to add some more in there, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they're not happy with them. You don't think that leak was done on purpose? Of course it was. That leak was done because they're using that as part of the. Yeah.
Well, these are questions that I'm sure we'll be able to ask, like Brian Lanou. As we get closer to the election, and Heather Summers and their opponents. Of course, in our voting areas.
Yeah.
To see how they feel about term limits. How do they feel about Roe versus Wade?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's good. That's a good point.
So these are questions that, could make or break somebody, getting into or trying to get into office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of agree that women should have the rights to make their own decisions.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I do. I don't agree with some of the stuff. I mean, there's got to be a point. You just can't do it down to the last minute. There's got to be a time frame in there, but
unless you're Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah, but I honestly believe the women just should have their rights to do whatever they want. It's their decision,
Yeah.
And the government shouldn't be able to tell them what to do. And some of these religious organizations got to, hey, buddy, you got to remember, you're just a body. You don't tell women, you don't tell them what to do. That's the problem with the damn Catholic Church. Why a lot of people are shying away from it, because they're trying to tell people what to do.
Right.
They got to change too. If they don't change, a lot of people are going to leave the Catholic Church. And they should talk, because look what they did. Look at all the scandal that went on with the Catholic Church. So, live in a glass house, don't throw stones.
All right. So let's take a look here. Miguel Cardona. He's the education secretary.
Yeah.
All it says is he was born in Meriden.
Oh, but I think he was in the Waterbury school system. That's why they
now Dave says Middletown. He believes Middletown.
Oh, well, they went to Waterbury anyway, and she got booed.
Cardona began his career as a fourth grade teacher at the Israel Putnam Elementary School in Meriden in 2003. Hanover Elementary School. He was promoted and made the youngest principal in the state's history for 10 years. From 2015 to 19, Cardona served as assistant superintendent for teaching and learning in his hometown, which is Meriden.
Oh.
Cardona was also an adjunct professor of education at the University of Connecticut's Department of Educational Leadership. During his career, he was focused on closing gaps between English language learners and their peers.
Yeah.
So we were all wrong.
Yeah.
He's from Meriden.
Okay.
Yeah, big deal.
Well,
I'm just trying to spit facts, man.
Yeah, use a verified fact checker.
Well, I had to look it up.
Yeah, that's good.
So actually, David was the closest. Middletown is closer to, not by much.
Yeah,
not by much.
Yeah. Oh.
Good morning, Deb.
Oh.
Good to see you. Deb Franklin, a friend of mine, is jumping in saying, hey.
Yeah.
Deb, say hi to everybody. Everybody say hi to Deb.
Hey, Deb. Yeah.
So.
Wow. Interesting. Well,
it is, isn't it? Though?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is going to be last half of this year is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Gas will be down to $3.50.
Ooh, what a great deal.
gas will be down to $3.50 by.
What a great deal.
Gas will be down to $3.50 by October.
Weird, but the gas tax will be popped right back in
January
after the election.
Yeah, and they're going to blame it on the next one it gets in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it happens every election cycle.
Yeah. What would shock me is Blumenthal got kicked out.
You just keep, you need like voodoo dolls.
Yeah,
I know you're not a fan.
I'm not a fan of Blumenthal at all. No, Tricky Dicky. Nope.
I thought that was
Because
Nixon.
he's a politician. He's bullshitting his way through. He's got his, when he gave money to the Communist Party, for Christ's sakes.
Ooh.
Yeah, he did. He tried to backpedal that one. He didn't do too good. So, yeah.
So, if there are people that are doing these things, these heinous activities, how are they still getting elected?
Because everybody forgets. People forget. People forget when you screw up like that. People forget.
Yeah,
they don't remember these things. Go back. They just wasn't important in their mind. They forgot all about it. Yeah, that's what happens. That's how a lot of people got in.
Which goes back to something I said about a year ago.
Yeah.
If Roland ran, he'd win.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not in the state.
No, but I think if he ran, he'd win.
Yeah, could be.
Look at Joe Ganim.
Yeah. Yeah, he ran. He was was he a mayor?
Mayor in New Haven? Bridgeport or New Haven. Yeah, one of them. What about Buddy Cianci?
Yeah.
Talked about that.
Yeah.
He did a couple of terms in jail. Did a couple of terms as Providence mayor. He just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
And he keeps winning.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm telling you, if Roland came back to Connecticut and ran, he would win.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. That's possible. They don't want him back. I mean, that second thing that he did. Now, I don't know what the story was with that.
I don't even know the second.
That was kind of
That's weird.
That was kind of a weird thing. So they got him because they knew he was talking against Malloy.
Well, I know that after he did his first term in jail.
Yeah.
And then he got out.
Yeah.
And then he became a very popular talk show host
Yes,
at
he was.
WTIC
Yeah.
in Hartford.
He was. Yeah.
He was insanely popular.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, boop, he was gone.
Yeah.
He literally just gave his resignation and left.
He had to. Yeah. 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 He was against Malloy big time.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of the things he was coming out with, they got to him.
Laura asks, in your opinion, who was the best governor for Connecticut?
Good point. Let's see. We had, let's go back. We had Lamont. Malloy, definitely not.
Weicker.
He brought on the income tax.
He did.
Yeah. Everybody thinks Grasso was probably the best.
Ella
one.
Grasso.
Yeah, it was probably the best governor the state of Connecticut ever had.
How about Jody Rell?
Well, she was a Malloy. She was Malloy hand-me-down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure she did.
Dave Polino said Jody Rell.
Oh. Yeah. Well, could be. I don't know.
See, Weicker did bring in the income tax,
yes,
which put the state in the black. Problem is
they never took it away,
which he said they were going to do,
and they never did.
And they never did, and we still live in that dream.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Thank you, Weicker.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else was a.
And no matter what, no matter how many people they have the income tax on, or how many casinos are paying slot revenue.
Yeah.
They just keep spending and spending and spending.
Yeah.
And we are still busted.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of people started to dislike politicians when Malloy got in. They hated Malloy.
Yeah.
He and there you go. Malloy, when he came in, brought in the biggest tax increase the state of Connecticut's ever seen. Right?
Yep.
People forget. He got reelected the next term. They forgot about that tax increase. Yeah. There's an example. People forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Court says Jonathan Trumbull. I don't remember him.
Way back. There's some highways or bridges or something named after Trumbull.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the town?
Well, I don't think the town's named after them, but I think there's some roadways that are something in Trumbull. Trumbull, yeah, if I remember. Yeah. Yeah, it's possible, I guess. I don't know. It's way back before our time.
Yep, definitely before mine.
Yeah.
So, all right. One other thing I want to get into.
Yeah.
And just something like I think a lot of people have said to me, "Hey, Mike, you've been scaling down or scaling back a little bit on news coverage and stuff," and that is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
And I people ask me why. And the bottom line is, as far as doing daily news and that kind of stuff, there's no support. None. There's zero support for that. And why? Well, it's because, and because honestly, people think they can get all their news from Griswold Now. Have at it. That's all I can say. I've had people say to me, "Oh no, don't do that." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for example, when your first selectman, sorry, Dane, I got to pull you out on this one, but when your first selectman doesn't even call or email the local radio station to say that you're having a coffee meet at town hall, and you put it in Griswold Now, you just told me everything I needed to know. So we are going to focus on sports, streaming sports. There's a lot of appreciation for that. But I'm not going to work 15 hours a day anymore when people just, I don't think they care.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think they care. They don't support it. And I've talked to people in town, in different organizations, and they say there's like 3 organizations that support, and the rest don't.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And I know it's hard. It's very, very hard, as far as, operating a local business. So, I mean, you do have my empathy there because I understand it. But if you notice also too, all scrolling on the bottom of our screen this morning are folks that have been supporting us right along, and which I am completely indebted to. But there are, I've had people even say to me, "Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you mention us on your radio show, and if somebody comes in and says, 'Hey, I heard about that,' then I'll give you 10% off your meal." I'm like, schmuck, please. I'm serious.
They don't do that anymore.
Oh, they do. They try.
Do?
Oh, yes, they do.
Wow.
But the biggest thing is the whole, when people start, putting their ad in Griswold Now, because in Griswold Now we trust, and then your promotion dumps. Ooh, must have been SNSN.
Yeah. Oh well.
I've never seen anything come out of almost, somebody selling like a fridge. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, "Hey, I've got free fruit, that we harvested. You can have this." I don't think I've ever seen or heard of a business turning a profit from their Griswold Now ads. I see it every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Am I talking sour grapes? No, I've been doing this 8 freaking years, and you see the same thing over and over and over again, and it's like you have, and I hate to say it, but you have local business, and I'm not talking just about Griswold. I'm talking about Plainfield, Danielson. There are a lot of local businesses that will go ahead and, they'll put in some sort of ad in, their local social media, which is fine, which is absolutely fine.
You know why?
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you get the return of that free ad.
Free.
So that's the thing. And I get it. I get it. There's no cost and everything, but you're going to get the value of what you put into it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if you want to put something in, I said this to a business owner one day, and I said, if you want to do that, put in your services are free. Let's see how many people you get. Oh, I can't do that. Why? Because I can't work for free. Oh. Okay. True. You can't.
Yeah. I work for free.
So do I. But no, I just, I think, I feel, people are more interested in getting their news on Griswold Now. That's fine. Have at it. That's it. No sour grapes. It's okay. I'm really fine with it. Sports is, I think I was probably jaded maybe a couple of years ago. Now I really don't care. But, after talking to, other people in town and with other agencies in town, it's like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to just back right out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll do like human interest stuff.
Yeah.
And, we'll still, do stuff in the morning or whatever. And we're definitely still going to go ahead and do sports.
Yep.
We have youth football coming up, which was huge for us last year, as well as doing the away games for Griswold High School, which have a few games that are far away. Stonington, which isn't that far, but it's away. Yeah. How about Weaver High School? Northwest Catholic. These are schools that I'm like, I ain't gonna drive there.
Yeah. But
we'll be able to carry it for them.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Good.
So we are going to be doing that. Scott Fryer says, quote unquote, news, LOL. Well, that's what what it is.
Yep.
And there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I was never in competition with Griswold Now, but it's okay. It's quite okay. But we're still going to do our thing here.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to bust my chops, getting that going.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hey, you're not getting anything out of it. Dump it.
You know what? It's not even about me getting something out of it. I don't think anybody else is getting.
Well, I don't think anybody else is getting out of it.
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing. So if I thought that people were getting value out of that, I'd keep doing it.
Well,
but
to be
I
honest
don't think
with
they
you,
are.
I kind of liked it because I found out exactly what was happening
in
town, and because it was.
But people they're satisfied with Griswold Now and somebody throwing something up there.
But
then that's okay.
But getting it from your feed, it was pretty much facts or factorial, I should say. Griswold Now, it's people assuming what they heard was right and not necessarily correct. So I don't really pay such attention to Griswold Now myself, but I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Scott says Griswold Now is only good for comic relief and finding out where those gunshots came from.
Or fireworks.
Or fireworks.
Or somebody walking down the street.
Where's that loud bang?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 17 posts because nobody reads them. They just put their own posts up.
Yeah. Or my dog is missing. My cat's missing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess are legitimate ones.
Sure they are. And that is, you know what? That's what a local social media page should be about.
Exactly.
Like, help me find my cat. Help me find my... As comical as it is.
You're right. It does help people find their animals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm going to let other people go ahead and dig up the news now.
Well,
for now.
See what happens.
For now.
See what happens.
So.
Yeah.
Calling out neighbors for watering their lawn. Because we're in the middle of a drought.
Yeah.
That's another scary thing. I think that is one of the more scary things.
Yeah, we never had it.
Yeah.
This has been kind of last year was kind of wet. This year was kind of dry. And even the snowfall during the year, it wasn't that much. So, which snowfall, I don't really care, but yeah. Yeah, and one good thing, I cut the grass.
It's got all in caps. We are in a drought, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're just asking you to conserve. I don't think there's any rulings out there that say you can't water your plants or anything like that.
But what about the people that are on well water? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't, if you're on well water, which are you on city?
City.
Okay. So, but if you were on well water,
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're the only one tapping into that well.
Yeah, you're right. There's,
because
wherever the water's coming from, you're right.
So, I mean, that could be.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
So,
So,
Chris, I really appreciate that. Keep what you're doing, Mike. We appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Chris. The problem with that is all the appreciation in the world doesn't put bread on the table. I hate to say it. That's crude, and I don't mean it that way. But unfortunately, it's fact.
Yeah.
Sports. I mean, we're still going to be doing that. We're still going to be, we're still going to be carrying this little Coleman kid who is just, his son, Chris, is amazing. He's like, I don't know. How tall is he? 4'3"? I mean, he's 4'5". He's not tall at all. He's one of the smallest kids on, but this kid is probably one of the better athletes you're going to see in town. It's crazy. Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Good.
I love watching the kid. He's fun to watch. So I'm not saying anything that's jaded. I'm not saying anything that I'm angry about or anything quite like that.
Yep.
I just, 4'5", 80 pounds. But I'll tell you something, man. You've done something with him because that kid is one hell of an athlete. Nationally ranked flag football, this kid is.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, same thing with like Scott Fryer. His son, amazing athlete. Soccer, lacrosse. Really tough kid.
Must have got it from his wife, huh?
It's all because of Brenda.
Yeah. She must have been the athlete in the family.
She must have been the athlete. I don't know. Don't tell Scott that. All right, we're gonna get the heck out of here. Okay, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us here this morning. We're still gonna be here, still talking about
anything,
this, that, and the other thing, like we do, and we're still gonna have guests on in the morning and that kind of great stuff.
Hey,
but we are gonna change a little bit. But there's even more changes coming too. So
yeah, don't forget to buy a Powerball ticket.
Yeah, billion.
$1.2 billion.
1.2 billion.
Yeah.
If I win, I'm buying WWE.
If I win, I'm going to buy Jewett City.
I'm
going to buy Twitter.
You're going to buy Twitter? Only if they disclose the bot information. Otherwise, deal is off.
Yeah.
And they'll take them to court, and then they'll have to disclose the bot information anyway.
We couldn't even think about that kind of money.
Oh, not even close.
Not even close.
All right, guys. Have a great day. I appreciate you all the time coming in and spending time with us. And it's great. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow on SNSN.
Don't just wish for a winning deal. Make it Dish, and we'll make it real. Don't just wish, make it Dish.
Hey everyone, this is Ellis Dish from Dish Motors. We're back better than ever with our new sales and service center on Route 32 in North Franklin. Everyone says there's nothing better than dealing with the dishes, and here's why. Selection. We have the area's largest inventory of off-lease, one-owner vehicles of all makes and models.